Hey tasters, today is a very, very special day for me personally and for WineScribble because we are at Vasilikon Winery and I am here not just to taste the wines but to speak with one of my favorite wine personalities on the island of Cyprus. This is Aphroditi Constanti, one of a handful of women enologists on the island. Aphroditi mu?
Hello.
It's such a pleasure to finally get to sit here and have a chat with you.
Well, welcome to the winery. It's a pleasure having you here for sure.
So, you're an enologist, and yes, it's usually they don't let ladies play with wines. So
they should more and more.
They should absolutely. I agree with that. So, how did you get into enology?
Started my studies in chemistry in Greece. And at the end of it, I realized I want to do something more exciting, something with my hands, maybe something more creative. At the point, I visited a winery in Greece where a friend was working, and I had it on the back of my mind, the wine and the idea more of the wine actually. And when I visited the winery, I kind of fell in love, and I felt that was the place for me. I like the idea that it combined nature for sure. I mean, you're outside, you're in a different environment, you're not locked up in an office or a laboratory, and you do get dirty, and you do create something from a first material to a completely different final product that is still alive and is still changing and still evolving. And I think I mostly fell in love of the idea of the wine first, and all these like the aromas and all these senses behind it, that the science for first.
So at this point you had a chemistry degree.
Yes.
So what did you decide to do next?
So then, finishing my degree, I decided that I want to study this and I want to learn more and more about wine and understand it more and more. So I said, okay, so which is the best way to learn about wine? Well, France was a good answer. So I decided to go to France, learn the language for first, because I didn't speak French.
You didn't speak French, so you went to study enology in France with zero French.
Yes, I was brave once. And then I applied for the universities there, and I was accepted at National Diploma of Enology in Bordeaux. And I continue my studies there.
Fabulous. And how long does it take to study enology?
It was a 2-year course with 2 harvests involved also during that time, for the degree. So it was a lot of knowledge compact in these 2 years actually.
And you experienced 2 French harvests?
Yes, 2 French harvests during my studies, and then I stayed in France for another one. And I continued, then I went to New Zealand for a harvest, Santorini for a harvest, and then I returned back home.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, those are fabulous wine producing locations. Okay.
Yes, very, very different between them, yeah.
You collected this wealth of experience, and you came to Cyprus, and did you work in many wineries? Did you...
No, actually, this is my first and only winery in Cyprus I worked. I'm in Vasilikon for 10 years, so it's like an anniversary year for me. It's my 10th harvest, because I actually count them in harvest periods and not in years.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Hashtag women in wine, hashtag Vasilikon Winery, forward thinking. Excellent. So you've been here for 10 years.
Yes, 10 years.
Creating this lovely wine for us.
Yes.
And I remember you once told me that this particular wine is a favorite. You have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, it's one of the favorites. Of course, I love all the wines that we make, all the labels that we have for the moment. But yeah, this wine did hit a spot, yes, in a way, this variety and this the production of this wine.
What do you particularly love about it?
I liked it that it was a different variety, it was a challenging variety. It wasn't I like that for first, the challenge that it had. It wasn't an easy variety. You had to figure out what it needed. You had to spend a lot of time with it. You had to understand it. And I like it that it's a unique variety that not a lot of people want to work with it because it's aggressive and it's hard. And I like that. I like the challenge of understanding what you can do with it. And it was because we were working for Lefkada for Agios Onufrios, and of course it was always vinificated separately. And it was 1 year that, it kind of struck that when it was fermenting, the whole winery was smelling like flowers and roses. And then with the aging and with the finishing of the fermentation process, it has all this unique thyme and oregano and all these
Cypress herbs.
Cypress herbs, exactly. This herbal, and what I liked with this variety was so different from all the other varieties. It has like a very truly different expression, and yes, if you vinificate it correctly, it's not as harsh and it's not as difficult and it's not as tannic. And it is a love and hate relationship. Some people really like it, some people don't like it, and I also like that. I like that it creates this, it's a unique, it's a black sheep maybe, I don't know.
Lefkada is quite a scandalous grape because, of course, some people believe that it's from Greece and some people believe that it's an indigenous Cyprus variety. I think it doesn't matter, but please, if you feel very strongly about this, leave a strongly worded comment below. So this is Aphroditi's favorite variety. So let's, oh, yes. Such a rich nose.
Very tame, aren't they?
Yes. So how did you tame the tannins? This is velvety soft now.
I think it was another one of the misunderstanding of this variety. I think people were accusing it wrongly. And if you find a way to vinificate it correctly, it's very smooth and it's very velvety, then it's not tannic at all. But for me, it smells more Cyprus than any other variety. It really smells like a stroll in the mountains of Cyprus. Really, there has this.
Yes.
It brings out all these childhood memories, walking on the hills and the mountains and all these herb aromas, and even the rose that it comes out really reminds of, for me it's like a flashback of my childhood.
I had a rural childhood as well, so I get this thyme and the savory herbs that you find growing wild, but also lemon clovers, xinifia, right? Yes, that green taste. That's and it's so refreshing, and you don't often get it in the red wine, and it's such a bright note.
And I kind of seen that people when they smell this wine, it's more like a memory game. They try to, it reminds them of stuff. That's what I like about wine also. It brings out memories, it brings out images, it brings out so many things. And for me, Lefkada, it does smell like Cyprus, so
yes,
that's enough for me.
And yes, the wild character of this grape, I guess it just needed a woman's touch.
Yes. Looks like it.
So you are the enologist at this winery, and you're in charge of the wines. You're in charge of what happens next. So what can we expect from Aphroditi and from Vasilikon Winery?
Vasilikon Winery, yes. So for sure we want to work more and more with indigenous varieties and to reveal Cyprus more and more and the different varieties they're unique. you can surely expect us continuing the hard work, working with new stuff and trying new stuff. Yeah, revealing more and more of this, what this island can offer, for sure.
I can't wait to taste anything that you've created, Aphroditi.
I have to say, it's a team of people, of course, behind everything.
Absolutely. It takes a team to make
Yes,
great wine.
yes, and we are a great team, actually. I'm very happy to.
So, tasters, I have enjoyed chatting to a representative of women in wine, the oenologist Aphroditi Constanti, and I've tasted one of her favorite wine varietals, this Lefkada wine. I have had a marvelous time. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about Lefkada, please let us know in the comment below. And subscribe. I will see you on the next video.